Hello to all fashion enthusiasts. It's Madison from Brandibay Fashion. Today, I am taking you on an extraordinary journey through the closing show of the Hyundai India Couture Week 2025 by the House of JJ Valaya. Imagine for a moment the sumptuous setting of the JW Marriott in New Delhi Aerocity, where history and modernity meet for a dazzling spectacle. To beautifully conclude this much-anticipated 18th edition, JJ Valaya transported us into his universe with his new haute couture collection, named East. It is a true stylistic odyssey, where each outfit tells a story imbued with heritage and innovation. From the beginning of the show, the appearance of the famous Indian cricketer Abhishek Sharma captivated the audience, while the conclusion with Rasha Thadani, radiant in a sumptuous black lehenga, was the highlight of the event. Imagine this lehenga. Meticulous Resham embroidery and antique golden metallic embellishments that capture the light with every movement. All paired with a modern blouse and a flowing dupatta featuring a striking wildlife print. A perfect marriage between traditional craftsmanship and contemporary aesthetics. And let's talk about Ibrahim Ali Khan. His sherwani embodied ultimate elegance with matte black kora embroidery of architectural precision. A true centerpiece for any man appreciating sophisticated bridal or men's fashion. The location itself, JW Marriott Aerocity, is a perfect setting for this collection. Inside its flagship two-story store, it's like entering a realm of luxury. Sumptuous tapestries, mannequins dressed in Valaya's signature chevron prints, and those chandeliers. It's almost as if you were in a tale from the Arabian Nights. The East collection is inspired by the 17th and 18th centuries, a time when the East fascinated the West with its mysterious aura and spiritual richness. JJ Valaya has masterfully woven these inspirations through three distinct chapters: the enchanting romance of the Balkans, the refined serenity of the Far East, and the eternal majesty of India. A visual narrative that transcends time and geographical boundaries. Imagine a collection that dances between tradition and modernity, where each outfit tells a luxurious story through a palette of subtle neutral tones, mesmerizing spices, and deep reds. These colors are beautifully accentuated by sumptuous fabrics like silk, velvet, and organza, a true living painting. JJ Valaya, this genius of architectural detail, has skillfully combined traditional Indian craftsmanship with an international sensitivity that takes us on a journey. And what about the jewelry? Archana Agarwal has joined the adventure to add a royal touch to this already majestic collection. Her creations, inspired by the grandeur of palaces and the timeless elegance of Indian weddings, include earrings adorned with precious stones and bold necklaces that transform anyone who wears them into true modern royalty. JJ Valaya describes his East collection as an ode to the era when the Orient was synonymous with mystery and fascination. And what better place to close this fashion week than at India Couture Week? It symbolizes not only a tribute to India's cultural heritage, but also the continuation of a story where couture and legacy become one. On Hyundai's side, Mr. Tarun Garg expressed his joy regarding their ongoing partnership with the Fashion Design Council of India. The presentation of the Hyundai Creta Electric at this event adds an ecological dimension to this artistic celebration, a perfect marriage between sustainability and refined style. Archana Agarwal aptly said, "JJ Valaya's creations are like canvases, our jewels are the brushstrokes." Together, they painted the picture of a perfect bride, a fusion between a majestic empress and a timeless romantic. Each outfit presented was an ode to heritage, attention to detail, and that sublime elegance that seems to emerge from a dream. Valaya is a master in the art of redefining luxury through a distinctly Indian lens. During this show, he once again raised the bar by creating an experience that went beyond mere fashion expectations. The room was imbued with artisanal charm, rich culture, and of course, breathtaking haute couture. This year, the show also benefited from the support of luxury and lifestyle giants such as Grey Goose Altius and Kohler. Their presence magnificently complemented the already enchanting atmosphere of the Hyundai India Couture Week 2025, a collaboration that elevated every moment of the show, leaving spectators in awe and inspired. In summary, JJ Valaya has once again proven that his name is synonymous with excellence and innovation in the fashion world. It is impossible not to be transported by this dazzling demonstration of art and elegance. Among the highlights, Ibrahim Ali Khan's participation was remarkable. His sherwani, adorned with black kora embroidery, embodied a modern elegance that might well redefine the standards of traditional Indian men's fashion. The choice of JW Marriott Aerocity as the venue for this show also contributed to the luxurious ambience, with every detail of the decor perfectly complementing Valaya's creations. However, it is important to note a few weaknesses. Although the East collection is rich in narrative, it may seem a bit too eclectic for some, with its diverse references ranging from the Balkans to the Far East. This diversity, though enriching, could dilute the impact of certain pieces that deserve more focused attention. In conclusion, this presentation by JJ Valaya was a major success, demonstrating his incredible ability to fuse heritage with innovation. Each creation was not just a garment but a living narrative, a journey through time and space. I would like to thank all the viewers for following this review. If you enjoyed this analysis, feel free to subscribe if you haven't already, like this video, leave your comments and share your impressions. Enjoy watching the rest of the show and see you soon for more fashion discoveries.